on over here from TikTok. Um, because these are not products that are sold on TikTok, through their TikTok shop, they restricted the video as far as, viewership reach or whatever. So I decided to come on over to YouTube to do my dollar and a quarter or Dollar Tree, because I lovingly call Dollar Tree a dollar and a quarter, to do my little quick little haul. There will be the inclusion of this in my upcoming vlog, which will post on Tuesday. But I'm just going to run through these very quickly. And yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you once more that I start off with the snail mucin. If you see it, get it. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is the packaging. It has glycolic acid. It has hyaluronic acid. It has vitamin E. It actually has two different variations of glycerin, which is especially moisturizing. Snail mucin, just like okra water and the mucosa of the innards, if you will, of the lacunae of okra or other hydrophytic plants. You all know that I'm a wetland scientist, so this is my expertise up and down. Those nutrients are invaluable. Okay, and then we got the power moisturizer with retinol, antioxidants, and glycerin. This is the combo that I use at night faithfully, especially since discovering this. Before this, I would use any any compounds that were just especially moisturizing. Now, of course, this is going to be dependent upon your skin type. But I can use coconut oil. I can use combinations of tea tree oil, retinol, shea butter, and wake up without any imperfections or any clogging of my pores or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. I'm not a dermatologist. I am a scientist. And so, in that regard, we, of course, the fields of study are parallel and overlapping. But because our biochemistry is different, our skin types are different, then you definitely want to always see a dermatologist or see, an esthetician to really be able to befit your specific needs, as opposed to there being some cookie cutter skincare routine, because it generally just doesn't exist. But there are elements that you can use that are generally well tolerated by everyone. Some people don't tolerate retinol well. So this one is a really nice one as well. This multi vitamin with vitamin E, B, C, and niacinamide, vitamin A. Got the other snail mucin. I love this here, and just like I explained on TikTok, they do a wonderful job with this facial scrub as far as the scent. However, if you're like me, and if you find the scent of edibles, you know what I mean, like the scent of fruits and goodies that would be edible, if it's not actually edible and you find it nauseating because of that, like me, then be careful, because this is a little jarring. because it smells so much like the pineapple, but it's not edible, and it kind of gives. I'm gonna throw up. Okay, so this one of my absolute faves. I had shown this before, the River and Row. They've got the honey drip body milk. Oh my God. So I use the Dr. Teal's, and any one of these will work just fine. Use whichever is your preference, or even apply this coconut oil. This is a huge steal. Uh, we found this at Home Goods. My mom did for $10.99 or $9.99, and then a week later we found it at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Right, right. So you can do the double, like you would do double wash. You wash with a antibacterial, or uh, like in my household, we bathe first with Castile soap, um, and the peppermint version of that, Dr. Bronner's, and then we use the body wash of our choice, that's moisturizing and all the things, because Castile soap is not, admittedly, it's not moisturizing. It is one of the strongest surfactants in the world, and thus it is getting you clean, both clean and sanitized. If you know the difference, if you then you're good to go. If you don't know the difference between cleaning and sanitizing, scientifically, when you clean something, it means that you are ridding of the surface particulate matter, which causes the residue buildup, if you will. And then when you sanitize something, then you're getting to the microbial life. You're making it antiviral, antimicrobial, and so it does both. But yeah, so then you can do the double moisturized method, where you use an oil to lock in, right? And then add a milk or shea butter to really moisturize your skin. Really get into the skin barrier, right? All right. Or get beyond the skin barrier and really get the moisture to where it needs to be, below the dermal, right? Hold on 1 second. Because just layering products on your skin topically is not helping you to truly moisturize. Okay, and this is why you must also moisturize internally. By one of the main reasons is, one of the main methods is what? Hydration. Okay. All right. So. And these are technically thrifted. This is only $5, so this was economically sourced at Wally World, and you get it there. This was $1.25, $1.25. This was also $1.25. This is pretty good. A great toner. I have been using this. This is from I think it's the Global Beauty. Yeah, the Global Beauty Care line. Like, they're doing their big one. This eye cream has squalane and peptides and hyaluronic acid. Very, very, very good. Very good. You can use it morning or night. And this is a very thin layer of skin, so you want to be very, loving. Love yourself. And always use massaging strokes, upward strokes on your entire face, right? Upward, upward, and back. Upward and back, right? Okay. Here's another eye roller or eye treatment from Dermasil. This is also $1.25. This is a hyaluronic serum as well. Now again, everything on this side here, let me show you. Everything on this side, I have used and used faithfully. So what I'm telling you, the recommendations in this regard is experiential. Okay. I love this here. The power serum. It has all the things. All the things. And I love it. Okay. You see that there? Let me see if I can read it. The lighting is crazy. So it's got collagen, retinol, peptides, hyaluronic acid. Um, Hold on. Hold it. I can't even see it. Hold on one second. Hmm? Okay, here. Woo. Ceramides and niacinamide. I thought he said ceramides, but I wanted to make sure. So yeah, so you got the hyaluronic acid, which is the first component or first listed component, and generally yes, there is some truth. I've seen a lot of you thinking that you figured it out. You know how the ingredients read. That the initial, that they're listed in order of concentration, if you will. Um, that generally holds true. But yeah, so hyaluronic acid, um, niacinamide, ceramides, peptides, retinol, and collagen. So that is a powerhouse. Um, and then and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask because I won't be live for long. Um, and feel free to ask questions, and then I can always just come back later and answer them because this is going to be an ongoing conversation. I love sharing the wealth of knowledge, and I don't gatekeep here. I'm the ethical gatekeeper instead. So these are the items that I have not used, but um, this is actually a dupe for uh, what is it? Olive Olay. Yeah, you see that? Olay, Regenerous. And so it has, it already has um, uh, reputability. You know what I mean? Like it is already reputable. Let's see here. Then this is just some of these are not necessarily eye care or skin care, if you will. But I wanted to add them because I thought they were really cool and I wanted to try it. You can never really go wrong with the pencils. Um, I've understood the concerns with staying away from some of the products that contain mica, um, but generally, it's still been proven safe. I don't think there's any. Let's see. There's no mica in this one. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see here. And then I wanted to give this a whirl as well. I haven't tried it yet. If you have, let me know in the comments. I have heard good reviews about Amape. I haven't tried this either. I do like the ingredients list. Um, it's got a lot of great moisturizing agents and fruit extract in it. So it's giving okay. Now it does have the disodium EDTA. Let's see here, but I'm not allergic to it topically. I'm not allergic to EDTA topically in that sense. It has to be injected under my dermal layer before I would actually have an allergic reaction. So be mindful that that may be a preservative that you may have an interaction with. So just be mindful of that. And of course, it has to be a certain dose of it. So um, I went ahead and said I would, give it a try because it doesn't pose any immediate threat. You know what I mean to me. And then there's also different variations. There's editate disodium, and there's the difference is the calcium concentration. So the higher calcium concentration in these EDTA preservative variations is where you're going to run into your problem if you have a allergic reaction, or a unique sensitivity to preservatives or newly synthesized products. And that's what this is. This is a newly synthesized product. I think it hit the market like 2010, and then the FDA put out a public health advisory against it, or specifically the editate disodium version of it, with the high concentration of calcium, put out a public health advisory for those who suffer, with asthma. And of course, in inhaled solutions, not so much as anything topically. So just always keep that in mind. But that's generally a staple. I'm a pay. Got excited about this only because the cherry. It's cute, right? And then it has caffeine and cherry, and so I thought that would be fun. Um, and then I noticed something also in the ingredients. Again, glycerin, propylene glycol, all the good stuff as far as like glucose, um, uh, zinc, caffeine. Oh, sorry, those are iron oxides. But yeah, with regards to all of the different variations of glycerin, okay, and then caffeine, okay. So I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna give this a try, the whitening pen. That's pretty straightforward. I have already tried this one. My only gripe with this is that it is so it's just almost kind of sloppy. It's just so wet, quote unquote. It never really, it doesn't stay very well in place. But I tend to multitask, and maybe that's just a good reason for me to sit my ass still, right? So basically, if you get this packet, just be prepared to sit your ass down, and really just enjoy the self care moment. I made the mistake of, you're trying to multitask. This is not the one you want to use if you want to multitask, because it's going to slip around like profusely. Okay. Um, I'm hoping that this one doesn't as much, so we'll see. I'll update you when I know. This is actually something in these were gifts. I shouldn't have added that one. This is Hydrinity I Renew. This was in one of my birthday gifts from Ulta or Sephora. So it wasn't economically sourced, except that it was free. I guess we could say it was thrifted. Um, I've tried it. I like it. I don't like it as much as I like this here and this here, and using it with this here. I love this eye roller. Oh my God, it is so soothing. And I got this from a dollar and Dakota as well. Like, ugh, like get it, get it, get it, get it. And this brush cleaner and container was also economically sourced at Dollar and Dakota. And as well as my lip scrubbers. Some of y'all have seen that. If you know, you know, I swear by a good flat, or excuse me, a good matte, no transfer lipstick. Love it. Love it down, especially because of my engagement in the community and the events and talking or speaking opportunities that I have. It puts me in a position where I don't have to reapply all day long, whether we're eating, drinking, speaking, whatever. And my lip gloss and lipstick, rather, it remains just impeccably beautiful. And so to get those off, I use this economically sourced lip scrubber and this full price lip scrubber from Bath and Body Works. It's the champagne toast one. I am completely, utterly obsessed with it, and it just works so well. At first, I thought the champagne toast would make me gag, given like what I said about the whole edible, the whole body care products having the edible smells, that are uh, so much like the real thing. But I guess it works because champagne toast is not really like it's really not mirroring an edible, flavor. So it works. It works very well, and I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it down. Okay. Okay. I think I've shown everything. This also was not economically sourced, except that it was part of my free gift. And I think that we can all agree that Kills is just, it's an OG. It's a go. It just is what it is. Get whatever they have and get whatever you can get on budget. And even if you go and you get the small containers, I can vouch that these small containers, they last a long time, so you can use them sparingly, or not sparingly, for real, for real. I've not had to like sparingly use any of our gifted products, and they tend to last a very long time. And then I just, rebuy them in the future or whatever. We use the mask. We use and I say we because I've got my son on some skincare routines, with him entering puberty. He's actually had no issues with acne, and I believe that's because of the holistic diet that I've got him on. And considering his EOE, he doesn't consume. Hold on, let's turn around. He doesn't consume a lot of the ultra processed foods that too many of our kids do eat. I do prepare a lot of our foods from scratch at home, especially considering the fact that he has the severe allergy to dairy. And of course, we've eliminated eggs from our diet and a number of other things. So I think that lends well to his skincare health while going through I can't even say the word, while going through puberty. Okay? All right. This one also equally was economically sourced, only in the sense that it was gifted, but otherwise it would be full price at Ulta or I can't remember which one. Y'all know Ulta or Sephora, but the Cure. You should remember when I got this on my birthday. The shampoo, the conditioner, this mask. 10 out of 10. And the smell, like 11 a million. Love it down. Love it down. It gives a great slip on the conditioner. The shampoo is not stripping. It feels hydrating and like just good, 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 good. And that's a big deal for me because I already have my regimen. I pretty much stick very closely to using Castile soap to shampoo our hair, and then using Philosophy. I swear by these. I love all the scents. I haven't met a scent in Philosophy that I don't like. Some I may like more, but I haven't met one that I don't like. You can get these at Marshall, so you can find these. You can thrift these as well. I believe what I recall when I first started purchasing this, when I was introduced to this by QVC, it was like a good $25 for this 16 fluid ounces. And so now you can very commonly find these for $14.99 and even less. This actually, in all honesty, I found this at Nordstrom Rack last week, and it was actually clearance. And I think I took the clearance sticker off. It was clearance for like $11.97 or something like that. So you can definitely find those. Like, don't get it twisted. And you can find the Castile soap at Marshalls and Home Goods as well. Uh, they commonly have it for $13.99, and that's a flex because Wally World and Target, don't buy it from there. And unless unless you're in a pinch and you don't find anything else closer or whatever. And I've actually been in that same predicament where it was like, oh, convenience wise, especially when I was dealing with uh, uh, not having Pearl initially, um, uh, and trying to get things done. When you remember when they hit my car back in June or whatever. Anywho, this was June 2025 or 4. Oh my God, time is going by fast. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that I got it where it was convenient, and sometimes, of course, getting on the light rail and the public transportation here in Charlotte, it was more convenient to go straight to Target, which is the Metropolitan, not too, far from NoDa. And Target has it for damn near $21. Okay. Uh, Hold on one second. I'm gonna show you. And we're doing good on time. Yeah, 1:43. We're doing very well on time. I want to get out of here by 2 so I can have a good old 4 or 5 hours of thrifting because I'm determined to find a dining room table and chairs for no dollars. I need it to be no dollars. Amen. Anyway, so this one, like I said, Marshall's $13.99. That's very common. You'll even find some of these that have been marked down clearance wise. Because I'm guilty of it too. I I'm guilty of it too. I'll lift, like now I won't do it on these because I know what all the I know what all the Dr. Bronner's Castile soaps smell like at this point. So I don't need to lift the safety tab. And I know when you call it safety tab and you say you're a scientist and you go into a store and you do that anyway, it's like, really? Really? Now I do it because I know generally I'm doing it in a clean fashion. I can just about imagine that there are people that go in there and open it with their teeth and all kinds of stuff. So that's not good, and I don't want to kind of freak you out about all the things that are going on microbially. And on the microscopic level, in everyday life, generally we still have to engage these things, and the general everyday engagement, the just kind of like what you would encounter in your everyday life is not going to be to the extent that it would onset some type of hyper-inflammatory reaction or eosinophilia or anything like that. And that's basically just your white blood cells freaking out and your body attacking itself. Like mine did with the medical crisis from the EDTA 2 years ago. um, but generally, you're not going to have that situation. It has to be very unique, and all the circumstances have to be very unique. In that particular case, it was that I had held it through the albuterol solution. It wasn't that I had just run into EDTA on the street and was like, "Oh no!" No, it was different, very different. But yeah, definitely, they will mark them down. I tend to go ahead and take them because, like I said, again, generally, most people, especially considering that it's mostly women who are going to this section in the first place and, wanting the opportunity to sniff what's in the container before taking it home because it does matter. Some smells, some scents can be nauseating. They can be off-putting for different people, or you can just have a preference. So it can be, a legitimate, textural or smell sensitivity, or it can be your preference. But I've seen them as low as even $9 at Home Goods, Marshalls, and TJ Maxx. So don't sleep. So I go there first. If it's convenient, that's where I go first for these products, okay? And I use, like I said, Castile soap first to, really, because it's, the most powerful surfactant in the world. I use this plant-based, olive oil-based soap. I use that to really, really clean our hair, and especially since my son has locks. He really doesn't even have buildup every time that I wash his hair because I don't use beeswax. I use the holistic principles that I've learned from my culture, and I've incorporated my academic science, and it's a win-win. So I use the Castile soap to, basically, it's the cleanser, it's the declarifier. You're really going to get all of the oils, all the additive products that you use throughout the, between wash days or whatever. You're going to get that out with this. Done and done, okay? It's even gotten to the point, because he doesn't have any buildup like that. I don't use any beeswax or any gel to set his locks, that all I have to use is this for clarifying, and I'm done. Bang. All right. And then you add the moisture back in. This does have keratin, so just keep that in mind if you're wanting to make sure to restore your curls. And this, I would say, is thrifted in the sense that it's just economically priced, period. And this is how I really get the really get the curls to pop. If I have, like in the case that I'm doing now, where I blow my hair out, straighten it, and then I want the curls to return, my natural juicy curls, then I use this. Okay. Now I also use this as a conditioning, leave-in conditioner for Asa's hair, and it just smells amazing. Oh my God, it smells amazing. And now I don't like the fact that it's purple, and so it has the dye in it. But other than that, this is good. Like, they could have just made it clear. I know that they're using these colors for consumer psychology and all that kind of stuff, because otherwise there's absolutely no reason, efficacy-wise, for this product to actually have the dye in it. It just doesn't need it at all. And I really feel like, I wish that the producers would realize that, there's been an awakening, an increased awakening, and people, they would much rather not have the toxic additives, even if they're toxic over time. Like, come on, toxic is toxic, right? You would much rather not have those elements, or even if you could stabilize, and that's another thing that I want to share with you. There are ways to stabilize elements that we consume, ingest, with your diet and your supplements. So if you ever have questions about that, I've shared that before. That's the reason why me and my son take ashwagandha. It is an adaptogen, and it's one of those really excellent superpower mediums, I'm going to call. That really helps you, it's restorative in every way, right? And it balances, because that's really the goal in life. You're going to consume things that are not the most healthy for you, even if your diet is holistic like ours. And sometimes you're going to do that unintentionally, because of just how manufacturing is. Too much manufacturing right now is definitely profit based, and when it's profit based, then there is definitely going to be sometimes an abandon of food quality, and then sometimes there's just going to be some shortchanging that is not necessarily maliciously intended, but it still has the result of passing off the consequences, the bad consequences to you. Okay, so that's that. And it's a 151. We're doing real good. Oh, that's a great segue. I think it's the last thing. Well, there's two more things. Okay. But yeah, that's a great segue. So for hair care, the final thing that we use, I normally make my own hair oil, right? And so it's typically, it very typically, very, yeah, gonna have the tea tree oil because that's just an excellent essential oil for your scalp health and your hair. It just is. It is for antimicrobial. It is for hair growth. It is for stimulating your follicles. It is for keeping your hair clean. Ironically enough, even for lice treatment. For of course that would not necessarily be a hair care strategy for us Black Americans generally, but just so you're aware of those as well. And then grapeseed oil, coconut oils, all that stuff. And then having your carrier oil be almond oil, which is my preference, or coconut oil. So I found this one thrifted. So typically those essential oils, they're not inexpensive. And I agree with some people that feel like they are expensive, relatively. But when you think about, the fact that the concentration is such that you don't need to use but so many drops, per container that you make, then you extend the life of it. And so it's very economical. Let me grab one. Some of you know, but let me grab. All right. So when I say ashwagandha, I don't mean taking a pill. So I'm not a big proponent. I'm not a big proponent of taking anything that comes in a capsule. Not at all. If you can lessen byproducts in your body, do that. Even that which is supposed to, disintegrate in your bloodstream or in your, in your digestive tract. If you don't have to add it, just why would you? Because there's the possibility that it won't properly and fully disintegrate. So why would you add microplastics in your body, with your polymers and all that? Why would you do that? Why? I know some of them are made out of gelatin, and then they also have, because they're cutting corners with synthesizing pills and stuff like that. So I would just err on the side of caution, right? Okay. So I take liquid of every supplement that I can, and then you kind of you curb that, you you circumvent the microplastics. So I get the ashwagandha, and we just take it. We take it. Period. I don't even have to measure anymore. It's just boom and boom. Done. Going about my day. Swear by peppermint oil as well. We use a concoction that I make, which it puts Vicks rub to shame, and it just addresses congestion and like just the common cold and stuff like that. I'm not applying this out of irrational viewpoints of medicinal application, Western medicine. There's definitely validity to Western medicine. Now keep in mind, within reason. So you don't we're not flippant over here as it relates to traditional medicine. We just promote holistic health and holistic wellness and science as your lifestyle for preventative care, right? Okay. And so, but yeah, I use this hair oil here. Really, really cool. Just found this, and it smells divine. It smells divine. It smells fresh. It smells fruity, but not too sweet, and rich like grapes. It's good, and it goes on very well. It's a combination of Y'all, it's on the box. When you see it, get it. It's on the box. I believe it's a combination of coconut oil, almonds, because it's not on the bottle. But when you see it, get it. Okay? And this was Dollar and Dakota. All right. So, last two things, and then I'm out of here. And that was perfect timing. It's 1:57. I said at the very least, I need to get out of here by 2. Are these two things here. I have not tried them. I imagine they're going to be pretty straightforward. Actually, pretty excellent, in fact, considering that it is Global Beauty Care, which is YouTube's. Did I say that? Which is Dollar Tree's, manufacturer or whatever, or manufacturing company affiliate. So this has hyaluronic acid, coconut, and tea tree. Just a body butter. So I said, hey, let's give it a whirl. You can see I haven't even opened it yet. I'm not going to open it because, and this is a great segue as well with regards to storage and preservation and sustainability. When you do, okay, let's start that sentence over. Considering that these are so exciting to buy from the Dollar Tree because they're $1 effectually, whether it's $1.50 or $1.25, honey, it's close enough to $1 for me. It's close enough to a damn dollar for me. Okay? And in that regard, I want to buy in bulk. But if you buy in bulk, then that means that you need to store them properly, right? So I've got, and I'll show you here in a second, I've got my little stash. When I go out and about, and I make it a point to look for the products that I've come to love, and then I collect them over time, so I have my stash. And that being said, they have the safety seal, the freshness seal, you can call it, right? The preservation seal. And that being said, I don't want to open it because as soon as you open it, you expose it to what? Oxygen. And then the oxidization, right, process begins, which is the degradation of the product, and that's what you don't want. You want to preserve the life of it as long as you possibly can. And of course, you start that process of degradation when you open it. And then it tells you right there, and a lot of you already know this, right? So that symbol there tells you that it has a shelf life pretty much of 12 months. So I don't want to open it, and we still know that it still has a shelf life of 12 months, but I don't want to open it prematurely either to speed that degradation process along. So we're going to put this back down here. I had pulled it out, for the purpose of the video. And like I said, I'll show you my stash here in a second. And then I haven't tried this either, but I'm excited to try it. And this was, again, from a Dollar and Dakota. And this is Freeman. I hadn't seen this, much like the River and Row. This is a new brand at Dollar Tree. And again, I'm obsessed. I love this stuff. You'll see here in a second. I love it. And I've gotten my mom stuck on it too. She loves it now. She's got several bottles now at this point. But I'm excited to use that. But again, I have several eye care products, and I don't want to be I don't want to be wasteful. So I'm going to open that up and try that once I finish one of my fave products, and hope that it becomes a new fave, and then I can cycle it in or figure out which I like best. And I've actually, sometimes it still happens where you open up stuff, and these I wanted to show you before I toss them because they have lived their life, and that's the last thing I'm going to show you here. These don't have the symbol on it. It tells you the shelf life, if you will, but it's been over a year, and you're going to err on the side of caution, you know what I mean, and toss them out. All of your products, if they're unused, or your unused products, toss them out after a year. That's good practice. Even toss them out after 6 months. 6 months to a year. Definitely after a year, they gotta go. But you can see that I did make an effort. I put a dent in it. And me putting a dent in it tells you how much I liked it. So these were really, really good. This again is the Global Beauty Care. I use these for my mask, and and I need to, while I'm out, I need to make a Dollar Tree run because I can't find, oh, there it is. It's been there the whole time, y'all. Wait. Since I moved, you know how when you move and you forget where stuff is? Hold on. Why was it right there the whole time? Yo, I'm so glad that I did this live in that regard. Okay, so basically I use this I economically sourced this from Dollar and Dakota. And I use this, I'm not going to do it now because I need to clean it, very likely. But I use this to apply the mask. It was just, these were lovely. And I got to get more because I've got to toss them all out. But I had also the retinol cream, which is very similar to this, but this is more moisturizing. And like I said, I'm going to show you, that's going to be one of the last things I'll show you. This pales in comparison to the moisturizing effect of this. So like, get this when you see it. It's like a whole, when you'll see the whole black and white, merchandising. Get it, because we got a stash, and I got Asa using it as well, and it's just magical. Like when I'm out during the day, I'm like, oh damn, my skin looks amazing. And it's always, since I figured out how to incorporate my academic science with my holistic science, because I really battled with acne from like 11 to like a good 19, 20 years old. But when I got it, honey, I got it. And I got it. But now, I feel like I've achieved, an expert level, let's just say. Anyway, so now I'm sad because this one, the rose, I didn't use much of. I did use some, but not enough, and I've got to throw it out. But definitely get this if you see it. And then the clay mask, I definitely used some of it. And again, these are just the economically sourced or thrifted items that I wanted to show you from Dollar Tree. I've got other, products that, were still economically sourced and therefore thrifted or thus thrifted, but weren't necessarily $1.25. You know what I mean? So let me show you this, and then I'm on my way to go thrifting. All right. So this is my stash right now. I've got 4 of the milk. And they do come with a seal. Is that? Okay. Because some of their products, they don't have a seal. So just be mindful to look for the seal for certain types of products. The milk is very important. That's just water. I don't know why I thought that was something else. The snail mucin. I've got, and I had opened one of these mistakenly. But so I'll get to that next in order. But I've got 4 in my backup stash. That was the Freeman that I already showed you. I only have 1 of those. I need to put that back up here to make sure I I'll put it, soon I'll fix it where, my organization is such that I am reminded to use what I need to use in a timely fashion. Then we have this here, the moisturizer. That's the Power Moisturizer. This is the container you're looking for. Again, it's a black and white merchandising box. I've got 2 in my stash there. I've got an extra of the Olay hydrating moisturizer. Actually, one says hydrating night cream and one says hydrating moisturizer. So again, I haven't used these, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know. All right, and then I hadn't shown these because I have not used these, but I feel like they're just pretty straightforward, but I'll let you know if they're not. Sugar plum and hot cocoa. And then last but not least, this would be something that is not my fave. I was obsessed with the smell because initially when I found the honey butter body cream, um, I first found the, hold on, let me show you really quickly. I first found the, sorry, I've got a, that's just, residue. But the honey butter body scrub, okay. And it smells amazing. And so I was using this because they hadn't yet released or put this on shelves. And so I loved it, but it wasn't really like, the texture is off. And I think they realized it as well, because then this dropped and I haven't really seen much of these. But I still have 2 of these. I think there's one in the living room. I do use it for hand lotion, but it's not my favorite. Not my favorite texture at all. But I'm still going to use it, because I don't want to be wasteful. And there you have it. So that's my thrift haul of all of my faves, my thrifted, economically sourced faves, and primarily those from Dollar and Dakota. Now I'm about to go out and try to find me and my family a dining room table and chairs. And I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday. And I am so glad to be seen and see you and be able to engage. If you have any questions, I didn't see any comments come through, but if you have any questions, please do put them in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me at your convenience. And otherwise, I'll see you in my next vlog on Tuesday. Bye now.